All right. Hello. My name is Sean, and this is my testimony of redemption. I am completely addicted to the Bible, so let's start it off with one of my two favorite scripts, Romans 5:8.
But God demonstrates his own love towards us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us.
And I was that sinner. So, hello, I'm Sean. I'm 47. I was nothing but a sinner who didn't care about a single person. It's true. It's all I ever knew. I was the center of attention always. Me first, gimme gimme was my motto. Drugs were my favorite pastime since I was like 18, until they passed the time. And oh, how I loved the rush of pills, powder, needles, and pipes. Oh my. To this day, they still want to be homies. I was absolutely addicted to sex. I had to have it. The more girls, the better. No respect for monogamy or love. Just lots of sex. And porn. Then in the methadone era, I was still having a time. But before all of this was the booze. Me and Boozy go way back. I was drinking and smoking since I was like 16. Boozy still wants to be homies with me too. And that's where my other motto came from. If it makes you mad, smash it. Men don't reason. They bruise their knuckles. Violence, vulgar displays of power. The more aggressive, the better. The music has to fuel that too. So you guessed it. Death metal was my staple. Pretty much a third of my life. Slayer was like my favorite. Pantera, yada yada. I've seen those dipsticks like 3 times in concert. And those guys kept me pumped on being a moron. Kept me fighting and drinking, etc., etc. I was getting tattoos since I was like 16. And from a homemade gun nonetheless. I'm such a moron. Anyway, don't get me wrong. I lost a lot of fights. I was far from tough. But I never ran or said sorry. I have a couple problems with my body due to the tough guy phase. I can't breathe right through my nose. My front tooth will eventually fall out because it got broke. And my hand has a pin in it to hold it together. All because I wanted to be tough. Oh man. No, I was stupid. That's why I have these problems. And after all this, Violence still wants to be my homie too. Now I've been to jail. I did a whole month in juvie and a month in adult. So badass, right? No. See, the thing was, unlike most of the people I knew, I did all my crimes sober. Then I got drunk or high from that. And the fact that I was friends with scary people kept others from ratting me out to the cops. So basically I got away with a lot. Stealing cars, B&Es, party crashings, and ransacking them. I snicker when people use the fact that they've been to jail as intimidation. It just means they got caught a lot. I also preached in prison recently, so I'm not making fun or judging. I'm only pointing out that maybe we're in the wrong line of work. I was happy as I could be when Yeshua knocked at my door 15 years ago. Yeshua is Jesus. When he knocked at my door 15 years ago. Weed, ego, and drinking, lying, stealing, cheating on my wife many times, and smoking. That was my lifestyle. I was living check to check, but living how I wanted. I had a wife and 3 kids, but it was still me first, gimme gimme. Turns out I wasn't happy at all. And after 2 months of trying to contradict this man that was coming over every day trying to convert me and telling him to F off almost every single day, I gave in. I am a Christian. I am happy now. But because of that man, I became a serious Bible Christian, which there are so few of nowadays. He showed me the layout in the Word, and I got laid out. DOA. Well, that just made things worse, because I couldn't be a Sunday once-a-week Christian or a heart and mind-feely Christian. No, that man Marco instilled in me Bible, and Bible only. Do not trust man or your heart, only the word of Elohim. Now, the problem with that was I was 30 at the time, and in my life maybe read 2 or 3 books. I hated and still hate reading. It's boring. But I found that when the content is something you're obsessed with, then you will read lots. And I did, and you should too. Okay? Yet that was just the tip of the iceberg of the problems that I had. I lost almost all my friends. People who were terrified of me started telling me to jump off bridges and die. And weak people started talking back to me, which was something I wasn't used to. Even my wife ran off with another guy. And the worst of all, the church I went to didn't like people like me. So I was shunned, very humiliatingly, out of there. It took them like 5 years to break me, though. 5 years of constant nagging and judging and pushing me down. So basically, Christians didn't want to associate with a Christian like me because I made the church look bad with my appearance and my many questions that flustered them. And the world doesn't want to associate with a Christian like me because of my walk, not my mouth, because it makes them feel guilty about the way they're living. Even new friends I made ended up sadistically hating me. So it's hated by the world, I guess. Now looking back, using the new power of mine called hindsight, I guess I was groomed for this my whole life. It's why I didn't die in a fight or overdose or go to jail for a long period of time. It literally is the only reason that I can think of that I'm still breathing, because I should have died like 7 times at least, for real. Now, I got a new, adorably loyal and gorgeous wife, 3 amazingly awesome kids, and the dopest dog on the planet. I'm blessed far more than I deserve, truly. All because of Elohim. And I see it because of my hindsight. Okay? I must tell you, to this day, I struggle to do the right things, though I always do. Like pay my full taxes, or tell the truth to cops, or not hit people in the face, etc., etc., etc. I tell you all this. If I could have a superpower, it would be forgiveness for sure. Because I struggled hard with that one, and I still do. But for now, I'll just continue to struggle, because struggle is life's way to strengthen. And man, do unbelievers like to make me struggle. I would bend over backwards trying to get them to listen, especially atheists. They love to argue. Did you know that it takes more faith not to believe in Elohim than it does to believe in Elohim? On that thought, my new attitude towards atheists is simply this. Convince you? No. Why don't you convince me he's not real? Alright? So, my big mouth, their big mouth, let's see whose mouth is bigger. So, hello, I'm Sean. I'm 47. I'm nothing but a sinner who cares for everyone except demons. They still want to be homies with me too. But to them I say, a good afternoon and go to hell. Which leads me to my second favorite skip, James 2:19.
You believe that God is one. You do well. The demons also believe and shudder.
And tremble. Boom. See you in a bit.